Hello everybody and welcome to this month's Saturday Storytime and Craft. My name is Mr. Kelvin and welcome back. So, for this month we have a book that talks a little bit about what it means to make mistakes. Did you know that it's okay to make mistakes? Everybody makes them, everybody. But sometimes we have a tendency to try to be a little bit of a permanent marker, if you know what I'm saying. Markers are very tricky to use for artwork because we're not able to erase like what we do with pencil. There is benefits to markers though. Markers, they have this wonderful boldness, bright colors and everything, but you have to be sure about what you're doing. And sometimes you do make a mistake, but it's definitely okay, I promise. And this book, a very, apt title, Marker. This is by Anna Kang and illustrated by Christopher Weont. Basically, this book is going to be talking about this little marker right here and how they learn how to navigate their own mistakes. So, let's see. Ooh, purple book. Okay. There's our opening shot. There we go. Oh, what does it say on the table? Welcome back to school, yes. Now, I know when this video comes out, most certainly, it will not be time to go back to school necessarily. Right, frankly, it's probably going to be close to when summertime is going to happen, but that's all right. Here we go. All right, welcome back, Teacher Supplies. I hope you had a relaxing summer. We have a lot to do before the first day.
Oh boy. Ready to work, Red Pen.
Can't wait to sink my teeth into those math packets.
Where's Marker? She's getting hydrated.
So all the school supplies are having a little bit of a meeting right before school, and it looks like they are supplies for teachers. Well, actually, you know what? Before we move on, let's see what type of supplies they are. We have our green little pencil right here. We have our ruler, some whiteout. All right, our stapler, some sticky notes, all these very important supplies for when you go back to school. Here we go. Here's Red Pen again. Neat, straight, evenly spaced. Oh, let me get a little closer for y'all. There we go. Neat, straight, evenly spaced. Excellent. Please send in Marker. Copy that, flying in Marker. Whoa, here we go. Sorry. I'm looking for something a little bit more permanent, like Marker. And look, right there. There's Marker coming in. Marker seems like a big hero. Here we go. Whoa, look at Marker drawing. So bold, says Ruler. She always makes a statement, says Stapler. An indelible impression, said Whiteout. I can always count on you, Marker, said Red Pen. I think we're ready for the students tomorrow, said Tape. Here comes the students. Ring went the bell. We're back. Look at all the little school supplies, and they're all going to school. Look, we've got a little watercolor palette, little pencil sharpener, some glue, a little eraser. Here come the students. Have a great school year, everyone. So these supplies, they're teachers. Nice. All right, back on the teacher's desk. Good morning, Teacher Supplies. I'd like to introduce our newest TS team member, Pinking Shears. My friends call me Pink, and Pinking Shears looks like she's a pair of scissors. That's exactly right. Look, floosh. Pink brought cupcakes and came in early this morning to create this beautiful, beautiful sign for us. And the sign reads, "Our presence is our power." We love it. Sheer genius, said Whiteout. But what does that even mean? Says Marker. Oh, Marker has a good question. What does that sign mean? Our presence is our power. Let's find out. All right. Pink will be stationed in the superpower mug, so please make her feel at home. Marker, would you be willing to move to the other cup? Me? I've always been in the superpower mug. Yes, but nothing is permanent. We're all on the same team, right? Welcome to our cup. Now hold on. That's a good point. Nothing is permanent. Marker is most certainly a very permanent marker, right? So change can be hard, right? Things happen. But you have to remember that life is full of change, so you might have to go with the flow. Here we go. Students, it's time to write our class rules for the year. Marker, are you ready? You bet. I waited all summer for this. Here we go. She's writing her class rules. First, number 1, be respectful and kind. That's right, and the students are repeating after her. It's good. Things are going well so far. Be respectful and kind. Let's see. Oh, on the other side of the table, Scissors is making snowflakes. She's so edgy. Oh, look at the class rules now. Okay. Class rules. Number 1, be respectful and kind. Number 2, include others. Don't exclude. That's right. Now, it kind of looks like Marker is a little bit distracted. Look where Marker's eyes are looking. All the way over here to Scissors. She should pay attention to what she's doing. It's important. Here we go. Wow, haha, whoa. Oh, she's still distracted. Include others, don't Wait a minute. Look at the spelling. Miss Marker, you forgot the L. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's okay, Marker. Mistakes make us great. So, she forgot the L in exclude. Exclude is spelled right here. E-X-C is supposed to be an L here. U-D-E. But she forgot the L. And because she's Marker, it's going to be very hard to fix that. But it's okay. But if you look at Marker, Marker doesn't look very okay. Here we go. But I'm not allowed to make mistakes. Everything I do is permanent. There's no second chances for me. Later. Red pen needs you to finish this poster, Marker. Pencil got it started for you. I'm kind of busy right now, said Marker. But this is important. It's going to hang at the front of the room all year. Ugh. All year? Maybe we should give it to someone else a chance to do it. Like Crayon, or what about Blue Dry Erase Marker? He's always looking for permanent work. We're busy doing their own assignments. We need your marker magic. Don't worry, I'll help you. Now, what did we say about whiteout before? Whiteout is actually there to help fix mistakes. Whiteout is usually like a little tiny container of white paint, if you want to call it that. And you're able to put it over pen or marker, and you're able to write over it once it dries. So whiteout's trying to help Marker. Oh, here we go. Oh no, blot that out. Ugh, it looks awful. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, whiteout tried to help, but he made a little bit more of a mess. It's okay. Let's just keep going. And what sticky notepad says is true. So even though you make a mistake, you have to keep going. Everyone will be staring at my mistakes every single day, all year, forever. Oh no, Marker does not look happy. The next day, though, something's happening. It's called Failure Fun Day. During free choice today, everyone is going to try something new, something that seems difficult or just beyond your reach. We're going to have fun, get messy, and most importantly, make mistakes. Now, he did say make mistakes, and sometimes we think mistakes are bad, but if we look at this picture, they're making artwork, trying new things, and they look like they're having a lot of fun. And so Marker is going to try to get in on that fun. Have fun, Marker thought. Now she's drawing on the class rules, making the little white out splotches, little bears. Raise your hand to speak, scritch, scritch, get messy, and make mistakes, scribble, scribble. And then, with that advice in mind, she's actually able to finish the class rules. Be respectful and kind, include others, don't exclude, raise your hand to speak and listen. And even though it's not written perfectly, it's complete and it's Marker's work. And that's what's important. And everyone decides to cheer. Brava! I knew you could do it. You really make a statement. Thanks for believing in me. Sometimes you just need to have someone believe in you to make sure that you're able to, have the courage to try something new. Whoa, scissors. I made a mobile. Oh, that's pretty impressive. Pink, you used the wrong stack of paper. These are Red Pen's lessons. Pink, may I see you for a moment? It'll be okay. So even the best of us, the most shining, and remember, Scissors was really, really cool, but even Scissors can make mistakes. And then what did we see there at the end, right? What? Marker, who just went through her little thing, is consoling Scissors, saying it will be okay. Because Marker knows mistakes happen. And here is another rule. One more rule. Don't give up. And you see number 5 there, be bold and challenge yourself. And the next day, Scissors and Marker work together to make a little diorama. And there's a beautiful butterfly on it. And Marker says, are you ready? And Scissors says, nope. And they respond, me neither. Let's do it anyway, though. And that is the end of our story, Marker. This book talks a little bit about mistakes that we make. More importantly, not only about the mistakes that we make, is how we react to the mistakes we make. Some of you are very young, right? So maybe mistakes come often, or maybe you haven't really understood what mistakes are. There are going to be times where you might do something that your mommy or daddy or your grandparents or your teacher might not necessarily give you a thumbs up or a good job for. Sometimes those are a little bit tricky. But just like the book said, just like Marker, mistakes happen. And you shouldn't necessarily stop doing what you're doing. You should always continue to try. Life is full. You've got a whole life ahead of you. And for our parents and guardians here who are listening, same thing for us. For our parents and guardians, right? I'm not a parent, don't get confused. But for our parents and guardians, right? We get to a certain point in our age where it's like, we're not supposed to make mistakes. I'm the guardian. They're watching us. I'm supposed to be a good model. I'm supposed to be right all the time. I'm supposed to be like infallible, right? But that's just not human nature. We are most certainly flawed creatures, but that's okay. Just like the book says, you have to keep going. Continue to challenge yourself and don't give up. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to the story. I really appreciate it. And don't go anywhere just yet. We're going to be doing our craft portion. So our craft portion this time is going to be more of like a little bit of an exercise. All right. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to actually have some markers, and I want you to actually make beautiful artwork, right? But I don't necessarily want you to worry too much about erasing or anything like that, or feeling like you made a mistake. I want you to try your best to make something beautiful with something a little bit more permanent. But thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you at the craft portion. Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the craft portion. So, in your kit, you should have a little piece of paper that says, draw a different picture in each space. This is what we're going to call a me star. So in every single space of the star, I want you to draw something that represents who you are. You can be drawing yourself in each part of the star, or maybe just in the middle. For me, I'm going to draw myself right here in the middle. And then the other portions of the star, I'm going to just express myself, whatever I feel in my heart. Now, I know that having markers only is a tricky endeavor, because you can't really erase if you make a quote-unquote mistake. But the thing about art, just like many things in life, is that mistakes are part of the process, and maybe it's not even a mistake. Yes, I understand if you try to do something and you don't necessarily hit the mark, right? You might be tempted to call it a mistake. I get it completely. I completely understand. We're human. It is what it is. However, what I encourage you to do in this process, this marker just got in my face. What I encourage you to do in this process is to just embrace the fact that you can't turn back when you do it. It's an exercise in accepting who you are and your actions. I want you to utilize the fact that you only have a select amount of markers, should be 5 or 6, but see what you can do with those 5 or 6 markers and the colors that you receive, because you'd be surprised. I know these aren't necessarily, for some of you, the colors that you might not necessarily want to choose. Maybe you don't have your favorite color that you're able to choose, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't create like beautiful artwork with it. And I know that if you really, really want to, you can always use different markers or different coloring utensils on your own. But I really want you to try to just use the markers that you actually receive, unless for some reason they're like dried up. Please get like another marker for sure, please. But yeah, as you can see here on this segment right here, you don't necessarily have to like draw a picture traditionally. You can actually just do patterns, like squiggly lines, circles, different shapes. Or for this star, I'm not even going to really even be drawing necessarily a pattern. I'm going to be coloring. What if you just decide to color each ones of the segments? And that in itself is going to be unique. The thing about the Me Star is it is a representation of where you are right now. It's who you are at this point in time. How do you want to express yourself in each one of these? In this one, here's an example. You could draw even someone that you care about in your life. For me, I'm going to draw my wife. I think she's really, really cute with her little glasses and her afro. So I'm going to draw her like so, with a little smile and everything, because she is most certainly smiley and, a really bright spot in my life. So I wanted to make sure I drew her. So if you want to, you can even draw people that you care about in your life. Or if you have a pet, you can draw your pet. Like in this star right here, I like, I went a little ahead. But you'll see in the next part, I'll actually draw an animal and stuff. Actually, the next 2 parts are going to be animals. But yeah, even though you may not necessarily have your favorite things in terms of like colors or your favorite way of drawing and stuff, or your favorite way of creating art, you can still make it. That's what the whole purpose of like making art is. I know that the book itself was more talking along the lines of, in the context of being in school, right? However, these are things that you can learn even before you go to school. And the things that Marker had to learn are things that you can learn in art very well, where it's like, even though you might be the one that's like always comfortable and like the one who makes like amazing artwork, sometimes you might not have the opportunity to make artwork in the same way that you used to. Or maybe your teachers say you have to try to make art in a different way, something that's out of your comfort zone, and you might make a hiccup or two. But if you stick with the process, just like anything in life, you can create something truly, truly beautiful. When I found this exercise for you all to do, I wasn't necessarily sure if it would be like fun, but after doing it myself, I was just like, wow, I really want to do another one. I want to encourage other people in my life to make their own me star. So I really hope you enjoy making yours today. I really, really do. And thank you so much for listening to the story in the first place. It's nice to be able to share stories with you all. It's really cool. And, you don't always have to like color everything in, but it's just something that I want to do in this portion of the star, just to make sure that, I'm able to express myself further. But since you are artists and you were able to do the star, I always encourage our little artists to sign their name. And you can feel free to cut out the star too and hang it up, which is what I've done. But you did a fantastic job. Thank you for listening to our story, and I'll see you next time.